Hello, St. Mary's, and welcome to Storytime with Mrs. G. Now, today, Major League Baseball announced they are really hoping to start the season in June. And we all know Mrs. G is a huge baseball fan. And of course, Mrs. G roots for the Cleveland Indians. Now, a little history. This here is our beloved Chief Wahoo. Now, Chief was the Indians' mascot for many, many years until, maybe a year or so ago, when Cleveland decided to change its mascot. So, Chief Wahoo has been replaced by a Block C and is no longer on the ball players' hats or on their jerseys. But speaking of Indians, let's talk about my shirt. This here is one of my Cleveland Indian baseball shirts. Now, what it is buildings, and this is the skyline of Cleveland. And it has some of their more famous and legendary baseball players. Right here is Larry Doby. Now, if you remember, Mrs. Grensick talked about Larry Doby during Black History Month, and he played his whole career as a Cleveland Indian, was inducted into the Hall of Fame as a Cleveland Indian, but the connection here is he was born and raised in Camden, South Carolina. But today, I'm really going to focus on this name right here, Thome. Jim Thome played, 90% of his career as a Cleveland Indian. And he signed, a bit of real fun fact and useless information, he signed a contract with the Cleveland Indians for one day. He signed the contract on one day, and the next day he retired because he wanted to retire as a Cleveland Indian. In January of 2008, Jim was inducted in...
18.
Pardon?
2018.
Okay, in 2018, Thome was elected into the Baseball Hall of Fame at Cooperstown on the first ballot of the first year he was eligible. Now, another thing, and I will, because I know most of you are Atlanta Braves fans. Well, also in Thome's class at the Hall of Fame was the infamous Chipper Jones. And he also was elected on the first ballot the first year he was eligible. But I just share that. The real star here, of course, is Jim Thome. And Jim played most of his career, but he played at a time when I and Mr. Grensick were still living in Cleveland. And we were there the last game of the Cleveland Stadium. It was a pit. And we were there on opening day to watch the Cleveland Indians open their season at the time, Jacobs Field, which is now called Progressive Field. Mr. Grensick and I were also very, very lucky that in 1995 we got to see the Indians play in the World Series. They didn't win, but we got to see it, so that really was a lot of fun. So, since I have on my baseball shirt and I'm wearing my baseball hat, our story today is about baseball. Now, we are going to read Bats at the Ball Game. It is written and illustrated by Brian Wise. Now, keep in mind, bats have had a bad rap lately because many scientists, Mr. Grensick doesn't think this though, many scientists feel that bats have a lot to do with the spread of the coronavirus in China. They weren't the animal necessarily involved in starting it all, but they were carriers. But enough said. Today, let's love bats and let's love our story. Dusk creeps in and day is done. The last few rays of stubborn sun cling to hilltop tree and town. We wish that we could push it down. Restless wings began to itch. Excitement is at a fever pitch. At last it's time, and with a sigh, we hustle out to the diamond sky. Hurry up, come on, come one, come all. We're off to watch the bats play ball. How could any bat forget in all the countless years we've met It seems the team we'll play tonight has beaten us in every fight. We wing from dark to dazzling bright, startled by the stunning sight of colors like we have never seen, the brown so brown and the green so green. A flying vendor flutters past. Mothballs, get your mothballs here. Dogs here. Raise a wing and catch a snack. Perhaps you'd like some cricket jack. We show our tickets, find our places, watch the ground crew lay the bases. They roll the foul lines, take the mound, shape the field, and smooth the ground. Sudden silence, then a cheer. Hooray! The baseball bats are here. A bat star sings our anthem song. With wing on heart, we sing along. And when she's done, the umpires call, welcome fans, and now play ball. Something changes with those words. We feel a magic shift and ride the currents of the game as time is set adrift. At first we're full of reckless joy. Their batters strike out fast. And when our batters strike out too, our laughter doesn't last. Our players muddle through the game from inning 2 through 5 with nothing chalked up in the 6th. They haven't come alive. But 7 signs of life. Too bad it's not our team. Their fearless flyer cruises home and tramples all our dreams. We find a golden moment in the middle of it all. The batter swings, it's going far to reach and catch a ball. Get it going, throw a strike, we flap and howl and frown. The 7th inning stretch arrives at last to cool us down. We shake our feet and raise our wings and voices high and strong. Together all the fans belt out the famous bat ball song. Then back at bat, our batters swing but can't gain any ground. There doesn't seem to be a way to turn this game around. Grandbats talk of better times, of fields and heroes past. Their thoughts slide homeward through the years across eternal grass. And then, crack! The echo rockets round and yanks us today. The bat at bat has smashed the ball to cut the cover torn away. Our flyer swoops from base to base, and if he scores, we're tied. And now the play is at the plate, and now the bats glide. So was the flyer safe? Or did the catcher have the ball? When the dust has settled, the umpire makes the call. Out! The crowd erupts and hollers. No, you've lost your mind? Can't you see that bat was safe? Fire, the ump, he's blind. And now the pressure's really on. It's here, our final out. It's 2 bats down and 1 on first, and fans are full of doubt. He swings, connects, and bloops to left, and there the Flyers go. The fielder dives to stop the ball and gets back up to throw. The play's to second. There it goes. It hits that pesky pole. A ricochet to center field and bouncing finds a hole. Our Flyers streak around the field. The crowd lets out a roar. He throws to home, is not in time, and both our Flyers score. That's it, we won, can you believe? Now nothing can erase the thrill that thunders in our hearts, the grin on every face. But in the east, the sky's aflame. We feel ejected from the game. Still astonished that we won, we speed to beat the rising sun. Safe at home, we settle in and talk about our thrilling win, till one by one we slide away and silently relive each play. In our dreams, that perfect green, a refuge from the drab routine of headlong flutter, flurried light, until another baseball night. Until again we hear that call, welcome friends, and now play ball. So boys and girls, I hope you enjoyed today's story. I certainly enjoyed reading it to you. And let's hope that baseball season does indeed start in June. Go Tribe!